No need to worry, give me your body. Let's write a story, our body language. Da 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 da, a rocket to the stars. Whip that pony, whip that pony, whip it, whip it, whip that pony. Hello everybody, hope you're all well indeed. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris Says It. If you are new, thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to get all the Chris Says It goodness. So what am I here to talk about? Well, obviously as the title says, I'm doing a little quick reaction video to the Eurovision Song Contest 2017 semi-final #1. It has just aired on the television. I was absolutely gripped, partly because it's the first time I've been able to sit down for a solid 2 hours without having to do anything, and also because I absolutely adore Eurovision. I am one of the biggest fans going, if you didn't know this already. And so for someone like myself, this whole week is basically my second Christmas. So Merry Eurovisionmas, everyone. So I'm gonna just keep this brief because everyone that's watching this has probably already seen the show, and I don't wanna go into too much detail. I want to keep it funny. I want to keep it cute. So firstly, we're going to run through the 18 participants and see what I thought of them, and then we're going to talk about some other bits, so stick around. And yes, I am going to be talking about who qualified and who didn't qualify, so spoiler alert, although if you are watching this and you don't want spoilers, no, more fool you, really. Before we get into the video, it has to be said that going into this semi-final, I've said for quite a long time, ever since I saw the lineup, that semi-final 1 was going to be a proverbial bloodbath. This particular semi-final was incredibly strong. There were very few countries that you could really write off straight away and be like, they're definitely not qualifying. The rest, it was a real fight to see who would be that top 10. So opening the show this year, which is always a tricky thing to do, was the one and only Sweden. Hey Sverige! Robin's song was pretty good. It got me in the mood to get on a treadmill and start working out. Although watching it was a little bit of a workout as well because he looked a little bored. Am I wrong? Considering how sort of into it he was in his national final, he seemed a little bored tonight. He was probably worried about falling off the treadmill, and quite frankly, I don't blame him. Coming up next was Georgia with the song Keep the Faith. All I'm going to say to that is, Georgia, stick with that mantra, because if you do keep the faith, maybe you'll qualify next year. So then moving on, we get to Australia. If you don't know that Australia compete, don't even ask because it's a long story why they do. But they do, and I'm fine with that. It was a good song. The staging was all right with all the faces on the background, but that lazy Susan he was walking on was working overtime. Good for you, Susan. Good for you. Also, wait. If I do this, who am I? Hang on. Oh look, my L'Oreal moment, here we go. But it don't come easy, no it don't come cheap. Get it? I'm Isaiah. Yeah, just older and more exhausted looking. Next up was the wonderful Albania with the song World. Originally this was a song in Albanian, but they often do change it into English for the live shows. I got a sense that the person who designed the look and the staging and stuff in this one was Tim Burton, because, you know, the background was all cogs and rickety movements, and then the singer looked like a confused corpse bride. Some big notes coming out of Albania, as they pretty much always do. It was a solid performance, but the outfit was a little bit questionable. Moving on, we get to Belgium. Now, Belgium was one of the hot favourites to win. They were actually running second in the bookies after Italy for the longest time. However, their big downfall was when they got to live rehearsals and everyone realised that the production team had no idea what they were doing. Although the song is supposed to be very dramatic and sort of ethereal, the first 2 minutes are just kind of a little slow and lacking in something. It just needs a little bit more tension, a little bit more drama. However, in that last minute, she really comes into her own, she really goes for the vocals, and she kind of pulls it together. Unfortunately though, I do think the staging could have been better. I think they could have done something similar to the video, where there's a ball of light kind of tracing the outline of buildings and windows and stuff, and it's very interesting. They could have easily done something like that with a light tracing the staging itself and having much more of an up-close kind of shot of Blanche and make it a lot more like Euphoria from 2012. But they went the other direction. Blanche, your Belgium was Next up was the wonderful Montenegro. Montenegro is definitely my guilty pleasure this year, and it is in fact because of Slavko that I am wearing this top right now, because it's the closest thing I have to a black mesh t-shirt. Well, it is a black mesh t-shirt, okay, but like a black mesh t-shirt that he was wearing, because that was like really see-through. Like this is the closest thing I got. So this is in your honor, Slavko. If you're watching this, I hope you appreciate this. Honestly, someone's been watching too much Willow Smith. I wear my hair back up, I wear my hair back up. I actually really like this song. I've liked it ever since it came out. I think it's camp, I think it's funny, I think it's really catchy, and it's really upbeat, and we don't tend to get a lot of songs like that these days at Eurovision. I just think it was brilliant. So Slavko, well done. I'm really sorry that you didn't get through, but I did vote for you, so yeah. Then it was Finland. Norma Jean, darling, Anouk called. She wants her song back. So this was a slightly morose kind of song, and it's not to everyone's tastes. When I first heard it, I was like, no, I'm not featuring this. And it took subsequent listens, because I follow everything for the last few months. After a few more listens, I was then like, oh yeah, I get it. This is actually a really good ballad. But unfortunately in Eurovision, you have one shot, 3 minutes to make it work. There was this big bit in the middle where nothing happened. Like it was this big instrumental, and usually they'll use that to kind of do something on the screens or whatever to suggest that the song isn't finished. So much so that our commentary in the UK, the commentator thought that the song was finished, so they just started talking. And then she started singing again, like, oh shit, like, ooh. Azerbaijan, darling, why the long face? Honestly, what was up with that staging? They're talking about skeletons, but they're in this like black boardroom with chalk, and there's a guy in a horse mask on a ladder. Have they been watching Drag Race again? Are they taking tips from Alaska? Hi! Overall, I think the song is all right. It's one that I have been listening to a little bit more when it crops up on the CD. Yes, I have the CD, don't judge. Whereas before I used to skip it, I'm now starting to listen to it every now and then. I was in two minds as to whether this would qualify. I figured it would, just because Azerbaijan somehow always seems to get through. They have a 100% qualification rate. But I'm still not entirely convinced that this is gonna do as well as people think on the final night. Portugal was next. I don't even have a joke about this because this was just stunning. Wow, this is a powerful song. It's very old school, very like old Hollywood, golden era. It's like something you'd expect in the middle of like a Fred Astaire film. Very dramatic and very beautiful. It's very difficult to hold that many people's attention with so little going on, because the music is very simple and there's no real staging to speak of, and it's all about him. And the fact that he still commands attention is phenomenal. It is because of that reason that Portugal is currently second in the booking odds, and for a country that has never won the competition, and they've been in it for like 40 years, this is their best shot that they are gonna have. Next up was Greece. I ain't going to no Greece. It's a little Shirley Valentine reference for you. Greece, your wet hair look was greasy. You're safe. Girl, it has been 3 years since Ruth Lorenzo got her hair wet and was dancing in the rain in that exact dress. Can someone please get her a towel and a change of clothes? It's been too long, okay? She's gonna catch cold. Greece was an alright song. I actually predicted the 10 people that would go through. I got 2 of them wrong. The 2 that I got wrong were Greece and Cyprus. I had replaced them with Latvia and Iceland. Although I like this song, I didn't think it was particularly strong on the night. I thought the staging was a bit interesting and in a questionable way. But to be honest, Greece has only ever failed to qualify once before. That was last year, so they were pretty much guaranteed to go through. Poland, well, this was the one, because a song about flashlights and there's no giant flashlight prop. I'm not being funny, I feel shortchanged. I want a refund. It was a strong performance. I do like the song. I think the staging could have been a little bit more dramatic, you know, considering the video is very dark and sort of dramatic. I think the staging was perhaps a little bit too light-hearted, or should I say flashlight-hearted? But you're welcome. Moldova, well now, do the stanky leg, do the stanky leg, do the stanky leg. We see the return of Epic Sax Guy. That's right, that guy with the saxophone that racked up over 50 million hits on YouTube was originally from Eurovision. He represented Moldova with the same group in 2010. The staging for this is a bit weird with brides and grooms and stuff, and they're singing Hey Mama, but like, I don't care really, because it was really fun, really upbeat, and it's actually a song that I hated when I first heard it, and it has really, really grown on me. Now we move on to Iceland. Iceland is my absolute favourite song of this year. I have been absolutely addicted to it. I love it in English, I love it in Icelandic. I think the singer is amazing. The only thing that I've always had a problem with was the staging. They kept switching between sort of light and dark, and I think it worked really well when it was dark, those sort of dark green kind of tones, and then it kind of went very light and that kind of thing, and I just didn't really feel like it worked. I've noticed this a lot with a lot of the staging. The staging feels quite empty at times. I don't know if anyone else has sort of noticed this, but it kind of feels that there needs to be something else going on. I thought the song was sung really well. As I say, it's my favourite, so I'm slightly biased. But yeah, I'm absolutely gutted to not see her go through to the final, but I had kind of, made my peace with it before the show even started, because I was like, let's be real, if she's gonna qualify, it's gonna be in 9th or 10th position. So I think she probably ended up in 11th or 12th, which is so painful to do all that work and then miss out by a couple of votes. And yes, I did vote for you, Svala, don't worry if you're watching. Then we move on to the Czech Republic. Now, the Czech Republic, interesting side note, has actually renamed itself as Czechia. It's true, you should go check it out. Speaking of checking it out, while Czech Republic was singing, I completely checked out. Are you liking these Czech jokes? Unfortunately for her, the song was a little bit too bland. The staging was very basic. It had, again, it was the video on the background that was running, her music video was running in the background. And yeah, it was just, unfortunately, yeah, I totally switched off. Czech, please, I'm done. Okay, no more Czech jokes. Okay, look, it's even on my to-do list. Do not do too many Czech jokes. Okay, check. Then we move on to Cyprus. Now, the song is called Gravity, and there are no astronaut suits, there's no bungee cords with people jumping around, and there's no trampolines. I'm not being funny, Cyprus, but are you even trying? And they qualified, all these missed opportunities, and they still managed to get through. Then we have Armenia. There's something fishy about her ponytail, girl. Also, for her jacket, did she steal the material from Slavko's trousers? Because they must have gone to the same haberdashers. What a good word, haberdasher. This was an amazing performance. They were the last country to reveal what their song would be, and there was this big hype around it. And when it was launched, everyone was just like, oh, is that it? So then to see the performance be taken to a whole new level on the stage is absolutely amazing. The graphics are glorious, the vocals are perfection, and all the dance moves with like the voguing and the, that kind of thing worked so brilliantly. Then it's Slovenia. Now, I remember Omar from 2005, where he sang Stop. It was one of my favourites that year, and I still know the lyrics. However, this one is on the total other end of the spectrum, and it's just really boring. I'm really sorry. On my way, I'm never coming back. We know you didn't qualify. He's on his way, all right. He's on his way back home to Ljubljana. I'm really sorry, Omar. Your voice is great, but everything else was just a little bit lackluster. Just everything, it was just like, come on. You're up against Armenia here. You're up against Sweden. Come on. Pull a couple of things out, mate. And then closing the show was Latvia. Latvia, your song was fashionable, but your fashion choices crossed a line. I'm sorry, my dear, but you're up for elimination. I have absolutely loved this song ever since the studio version was released. The live performances that I've seen, however, have always left me a little bit in doubt of whether they would qualify, just because it's never been as strong as or powerful as the studio vocal, which I know is always the same. It's the same with anything, but with a complicated song like this, it's very difficult to sort of bring over that sort of weird electro quality on a live stage. As such, unfortunately, they didn't qualify, which I'm very gutted about because I thought they did a really good job. Plus, as I said before, semi-final one was always going to be a total bloodbath, and there would always be a lot of people very unhappy after this semi-final. We also got to see a bit of the UK perform, and oh my God, people. This is happening, right? The UK is pulling out the stops. This has not happened for a long time, and we have an incredibly strong performance. The visuals are stunning, and the vocals are amazing, and I am so excited. So before I wrap this all up, there was a few things that I noticed. There was a trend alert. That's right, there was a lot of things that, there's always some things that people kind of like do in unison. In 2013, everyone was all about the drums. In 2016, everyone was all about the overlays on the TV and that kind of thing. This year, it's all about faces on the background screens going past. It's also all about not wearing socks if you are a man, and it's all about wearing a white dress if you are a woman. But overall, I thought it was a fantastic show, very, very strong performances. Obviously, I'm absolutely gutted that Iceland didn't make it, that Latvia didn't make it, and that Montenegro didn't make it, because they would have been really fun additions to the final. I am surprised that Cyprus got through. I didn't think Greece would get through. But I'm not surprised that they made it. But I would love to hear from you guys. Who were you rooting for? Who was your shocker of the night that didn't go through? Who was the shocker that did go through? But yeah, let me know who is your favourite. Who are you sad to see go? Just drop me a comment, you know, flags and all that kind of stuff. Let's go and, like, you know, let's talk about this. I'd love to hear your opinions, guys. Also, before I wrap this up, make sure you drop this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and also follow me on social media, especially Twitter. Just search for Chris Says It, you should find me, but I was live tweeting the first semi-final with my thoughts and everything. So if you want to see that and interact with me and chat with me through the second semi-final, then do add me on Twitter and follow me and all that jazz. So yeah. But I'm gonna go now, edit this really quickly, get this uploaded hopefully before I go to bed or before I fall asleep on my desk. But yes, until I see you on Thursday, be good, be safe, keep out of trouble. See you guys soon. Stay fabulous. Have a wonderful Eurovision week, and I will see you guys soon. Take care. Love you. Bye. Bye.